Now let's talk swimming. Missile. They got us at the right at the post. USA versus Australia.
They pipped us at the post. It was neck and neck. We were actually leading them by 3 gold medals with 2 days to go, but America have finished strong. They've got a world record in the 1500 freestyle and gold, and they've got gold in the women's 4x100 IM. So they've just pipped us 9 golds to 7. A great final night by the Aussies. Silver to Meg Harris and bronze to our women. Silver to our women in the 4x100 IM, but not enough to beat America on this occasion.
Now, Missile, you've written an article today, 3 things that we need to change or fix for the next Olympics.
Number 1, and I've got an exclusive right now for our show. They've just signed Adam Peaty's coach, breaststroke coach from Great Britain, to come across to Australia and coach at the Gold Coast High Performance Centre, because we've identified that Australia is struggling in breaststroke. We saw that big time tonight in our individual medleys. So they've already addressed part 1, we need to get better at our form strokes. Part 2, we need to convert those minor medals and those missed opportunities like Molly in the 100, Meg Harris in the 50, Kyle in the 100 free. And I think a lot of that comes down to skills, our dives, our turns and our underwaters. And number 3, we need to work on our male swimmers. We're losing a lot of talent in age group swimming to professional sports like AFL and NRL. When you get big, strapping, young Aussie swimmers, they're often athletically talented and could transfer to a number of sports. At the moment, we're losing those swimmers to other sports. If we can retain some of that talent, we got 1 gold medal in the men's, 6 in the women's. That's our 3 areas if we want to catch the USA by Los Angeles.
That's really interesting, because the USA track and field, the men, they've just re-emerged. They were absent for something like 20 years. Now, 2 reasons. Number 1 is the rise of Jamaica.
Yep.
Number 2 is the NFL.
Of course.
The rise of NFL is a monolithic beast, where a wide receiver, or the fastest kid in college, do I go for a gold medal, or do I go to the Dallas Cowboys and get $15 million a year?
Correct, and it's going to be that same battle in Australia, right? So let's say you get a 16-year-old Kyle Chalmers, a 6'5" kid, about 90 kilos, athletically built, and he has the opportunity to go to, say, AFL or swimming. How do we entice him to come across to swimming? What opportunities can we offer him? What sponsorships, maybe network deals? What can we give him to entice him away from AFL? Because at the moment, the AFL could throw a lazy 200,000 at him, and that seems like a very feasible opportunity. So how do we stop those athletes going from professional sports like AFL and NRL and keep them in swimming?
Righto, before we go to our awards, okay, looking back at the swimming, I want to talk about the men's 100 medley relay. Now, the last leg in the freestyle, France led China by a length, a body length, and China's world record holder, Pan Zhen Li, he dove in and China won by a length. So he's made up 2 body lengths in the 100 metres. He swam at 45.92. They described it as an eye-popping time.
My whole career, I was trying to break 47 seconds. We all were. Everyone in my era, that was the goal. Let's break 47 seconds. I didn't think in my lifetime I would see a swimmer swim 45 seconds. 45 seconds. For most average people, that's a lap. He's done 2 laps. He doesn't decelerate. He holds that pace the whole 100 metres. He has been a phenomenon at this Olympics. He's now the worldwide standard in sprint swimming, and he will remain that for the next 4 years. It's insane what he's done. I can only imagine the type of exposure and commercial opportunities that are going to become available to him in China. He's going to become the face of that entire country's sporting identity.
Well, that night when he won the world record, you said, I'm going to go down, wish Kyle, or congratulate Kyle Chalmers, and he walks past, and then Pan comes past, and honestly, I've really seen a physique. He was like a greyhound. It was that, and the back on him, it was incredible.
Very unique physique. Probably a bit to unfold with that story yet, but for the time being, he's probably been one of the biggest stories of this Olympic Games.
Now, our awards. Okay, we look back at the best Australian performance, Missile.
I've tossed and turned over this one. I went Ariane, then I thought, no, it's Molly. Then I ended up on Kaylee McEwen. She's gone the double-double in the 100-200 backstroke in Tokyo and again in Paris. Never been done before. Box office, she stayed so composed. She was in a dogfight in both races. She actually beat the current world record holder in that 100 backstroke. So I've singled out her 100 backstroke as my gold medal performance of the entire meet.
And the amount of volume Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
I'd say she'd sleep well tonight, but I know the swimmers are off to a big party at the aquatic centre, so
She'll
sleep can come.
She'll sleep well. She'll sleep well eventually.
Eventually.
Know what that's all about. Best international performance.
Matty,
Missile?
this is much easier. Leon Marchand, 4 individual gold medals, 2 on one night. I haven't seen anything like it since Michael Phelps. I probably won't see anything like it again for some time to come. I can only imagine what his profile is going to be over the next 4 years in Paris. Everywhere we walk in Paris, we see him on billboards, in pubs. People were in the streets cheering for him during his races. He was under so much pressure and expectation. And like I said, I haven't seen an athlete deliver like that since Michael Phelps.
Well, everywhere we walked around, you had swimmers coming up to you, some, colleagues, some opponents. What have you heard about Leon? What sort of guy is he? What's the personality?
It's very low key. Spends most of his time in the US training with Bob Bowman in Arizona, which is a pretty quiet existence, as you can imagine. It's a university town there. But like I said at the start of the meet, Bob Bowman has defected from the USA team to come across and be on the French team. When I first read that, that's when I thought he must see something in this guy that is different to all his other athletes.
Righto, best overall swim.
Best overall swim at the Olympic Games, I'm going to give it to Ariane Titmus in the 400 freestyle. So much pressure on Ariane. She was up against Katie Ledecky, who is the current GOAT of women's swimming, which we saw eventuate throughout the week in the 800 and the 1500, and Summer McIntosh, the 17-year-old who won 3 individual golds at this Olympics and is potentially the future GOAT of the sport. Ariane superseded both of them in that event, and I was just so happy for her to back up her Tokyo Olympics. We saw her on all the TV ads and the billboards and everything in Australia before we came over. There was a lot of pressure on her, and boy did she deliver.
Right up. We teased this last night. Just to finish with quickly, 5-1, the greatest Australian swimmers from 2000 till right now.
All right, this is a real mix here. So I'm going to start with number 5, Emma McKeon. Currently our most successful Olympian, most medals in the pool, superseded Ian Thorpe at the Tokyo Olympics. Number 4, I've got Grant Hackett, just an icon of the sport. Did it in Sydney, did it again in Athens, went so close in Beijing. Number 3, I've got Kaylee McEwen. We've seen the emergence of Kaylee in Tokyo, and she's backed it up again here in Paris. If she can go anywhere near her results a 3rd time in Los Angeles, she will become our best ever. Number 2, Ian Thorpe, the Torpedo. We watched him in Sydney, race of the century in Athens, pretty much speaks for itself. And my number 1, my new number 1, Ariane Titmus. I just think there's been so much pressure on Ariane the past couple of Olympics to carry that swimming team. She's up on day 1. If she doesn't win gold, this whole Olympic Games takes a completely different turn. I'm so impressed with what she's done at this Olympic Games, and therefore she takes my top spot.